Rebuilding my army back up to scratch was no small task. I had to pilgrimage all the way back to Russia to replenish the squires, and since every person of importance in this game wants to see me Chinese water tortured, I didn't have a lot of options in terms of recruitment. I then found a neat trick that would A, get me lots of recruits, and B, train up the lower level troops with a bit of target practice. I call this technique pillaging, but like just the humans for skill level, or pillage disc for short. Commonly, throughout this playthrough, I would refer to my army as the boys, but after such a Pyrrhic victory against the Northern Empire, so many boys lost and replenished. Are they really the boys anymore? The Northern Empire put me through another squeaky bum session as I was downed and forced to nervously watch my banner knights save the day and pay for my ridiculous errors. I had a sudden realization that despite a small 250 hours spent playing this game, I had never actually took part in the storyline, something that actually has something to do with a banner. So I started to hear a couple of nobles out before treating their neck like the end of a carrot. Unfortunately, in order to progress with the storyline, which was completely not worth doing, I had to make peace with the Northern Empire, which cost me a joke amount of money. Anyway, you talk to this lady, and you have to talk to some other guy too, and they send you on a goose chase for pieces of the banner. Then, you essentially choose between aiding the Empire or not the Empire. I made promises to both I fully did not intend to keep. Since I now had the dragon banner, I figured it would be me that would inherit the kingdoms after all the nobles had been executed. So I speedran another small rebel faction and found myself sourly disappointed. To express my frustrations, I immediately declared war on the Northern Empire again, mopping up the remaining nobles that were lucky enough to see a few days of peace against clan anti-noble. I handed out one raffle ticket to each of the other kingdoms to see who would inherit these lands, because it's not f***ing going to be me, is it? Russia, here's 1. Scotland, 2. Canada, 3. The remainder of the US, you have 4. China, 5. And Saudi Arabia, 6. Drumroll please. It's 3, wow, Canada. This is more of a surprise than Trudeau's resignation or all the war crimes your military like to commit for some reason. Seeing as the USA has taken an absolute beating, my next victim I've chosen is Russia.